Cosmic beings, welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. You may be going through a solar plexus activation, um, which sits at the belly button. The color is yellow. It's the seat of willpower and confidence. And if you have a worthiness wound, it often shows up in the solar plexus, so you could be clearing that. It's also associated with shame. Shame blocks the solar plexus. So you could be clearing and healing that wound right now. Well, we've got action. It's time for action. Okay, all of those, all of those. Okay, we've got attachment, community, and action. Okay. For some of you, you're being called to take an action, and there's an attachment to your community that is preventing you from doing so. In that there definitely could be something with that solar plexus clearing and healing more or less that is a part of this. So part of that attachment could be something, it could be a childhood thing that's keeping you attached to a community that maybe isn't, we'll just say it's not in alignment with your highest potential. And that could definitely be something you're working through right now. Um hmm. Okay. We've got caring connections, and I'm picking up a romantic thread. So for some of you, what's going on is I think it'll come out. Right. It'll come out later if it needs to, if it wants to. Okay. For some of you, what's going on is you are being called to take action when it comes to a romantic relationship. And what is blocking that or stopping you is this attachment. So maybe it's something where you're worried about how other people are going to view this connection or something like that. Um, and the message here is to come up with a strategy of some sort or open yourself up to the divine guidance to bring forth a strategy that will help you to fully release this so that you can move towards this connection. Okay, so I had to pause it really quick. My daughter just got back from school and she broke her wrist last week and she's very annoyed with having to wear a sling, but it is what it is. It's one of those things where she can wear a brace and a sling instead of a cast, and so she's very annoyed with it. Um so what came up when I went to tap back into the energy is for some of you, what this attachment in your community has to do with is something with children. So maybe there's something, maybe you have children, or maybe the person that you're interested in has children, and there's something with that that is holding you back from moving forward in this connection. Um So just take that if it resonates. That might be extra confirmation for somebody. And what else to come through? So yeah, there's definitely something with opening up and coming up with some sort of strategy to take this action. Okay, we've got healer of the ages and woman holding a heart. So just take it as it resonates. If you are a masculine and you're interested in a feminine, then what this is coming through to let you know is just extra confirmation that the feminine that you're interested in does have reciprocal feelings for you. If you are the feminine, then this is saying the same thing in reverse and just saying to continue to tap into that heart space and allow this connection in. And that's going to be for the masculine as well, but and it depends, but if this is a divine counterpart, then it's really going to be recommended for the masculine to take the action. In other connections, it's not as much the case, but it's a masculine energy to move towards and to pursue, and that dynamic. Um take it as it resonates. And then the healer of the ages, what I feel like this is talking about is, one, you are a healer. Um whether you realize it or not. And then I feel like this other person is a healer as well, and you two coming together are going to be able to activate other abilities within each other. So there is something deeper than just like a physical connection, or just kind of like a chemistry thing, or just an attraction. There's deeper levels and layers to this connection. And so it's going to activate you in a pretty big way, and it's also going to activate this other person in a big way. And I feel like it already actually is activating you, whether you are like actually communicating with this person right now or not. um okay, what else? Turning into a love reading, which is interesting because love readings have been coming out a lot lately, like a lot. So I feel like this is definitely a collective focus at this time. Um, yeah. And collectively too, there's a lot going on with especially divine counterparts coming together, but also just like high level soulmates coming together, and um linking up, and really anchoring that energy into the planet. Okay. We've got deceit and indecision. So, part of this attachment could be thinking that this is too good to be true, or thinking that it's just all in your head, something like that. I feel like this is kind of a self-deceit energy. I'm not picking up a deceitful external energy, though that could be the case for some of you, but I'm primarily picking up that this has something to do with an internal deceit of some sort. So it's that it's not, it's not what it appears to be. It's too good to be true. Maybe it's something where you didn't realize this, uh, you didn't realize what this was when it was in front of you. So that's going to be probably for a few specific people. Um, yeah. And then indecision. And so I definitely do feel kind of like this back and forth energy. It feels like what it feels like, it feels like a soul versus a mind battle. It's like a soul versus a human battle almost, where your soul is calling you in a very big way to I heard pursue this connection. So for a lot of you, you could identify with being a masculine. But it's also, if you're a feminine, it's more about opening yourself up to it and allowing it in. Um And so I feel like what's happening is it's this soul calling that's like, go towards this person, allow this connection in. And you're just getting sign after synchronicity, after just kind of being hounded by it. And then there's the mind that comes in and is like, it's too good to be true. There's no way this is possible. There's no way this is really happening. There's no way that this person really feels for me what I feel for them. There's that element of this push-pull dynamic going on. And really what I feel like the message here is to listen to your soul on this one. Listen to your heart. The mind's going to really do a good job of convincing you not to go for this because there's an element of unknown and like uncomfortability. I don't know if that's really a word, but there's this level of like it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. I feel like this is a high level, like a divine counterpart connection, where this is definitely activating. It's activating you on so many levels, even if you're not in actual contact with this person. It's an energy thing that's happening. And so it is very heavily activating. And the mind is like, whoa, danger, danger. And your soul's like, no, really, it's okay though. I just got like the image of like riding a roller coaster for the first time, where it's like that looks scary, it sounds loud, you hear everybody screaming, and like there's fear around it, and then you get on the roller coaster and it's, super enjoyable and that adrenaline hits and it's fun and then you want to do it 15 times. Um so it's an interesting little analogy coming through. Okay, we've got patience and happy family. So this is interesting because the patience card has come up in a few readings recently where it actually is holding a different meaning than how I normally take this, and I always forget it, so I'm gonna have to read it again. Um, but this happy family card is definitely letting you know that is what's on the other side of this indecision if you choose to go for this connection. Is definitely this happy family card. Um, and then the patience card in this context, okay, that's right. Letting go of desperation. Um, Release the old urgency and look at things with a clearer perspective. It's telling you to relax and let go of the single-minded desperation that's been driving you. Don't try to force your will on only one option. Okay, so it's about staying flexible, being patient, open, and creative, and also choosing to be peaceful in the present moment. And that really, by tapping into the present moment and kind of quieting the mind down, that's going to allow that divine guidance to come through. And it's going to allow your soul to speak to you in a clearer way. And then that's when this like self deceit and this indecision energy is going to be easier to navigate because you're going to start really listening to your soul or the divine guidance, however you really work with it or view it. It's allowing you to tap into that guidance and it will help to kind of clear this a little bit. And there might be something like maybe do some sort of clearing when it comes to your mental space. You can use crystals. Selenite is a really good one. It's very high vibrational. You don't need to cleanse it. Uh, yep, there's no other ones coming through right now. So maybe selenite is really calling to you to work with right now. Okay. What else? It's funny because when I pull these messages through, I just listen to the guidance and then sometimes my human self comes up and I've been not quite in this way. I do resonate with this energy. Just having gone through my experience in awakening and stepping into my purpose and blah blah blah. Um my human self wants to just be like, just do it. Ignore your mental chatter. Listen to your soul. It's going to be worth it. But that's not really, I mean, that's kind of the message coming through from spirit, but it's not that urgent like you must do this. It's just like that gentle nudge of like it's here for you. This is what your soul wants to do. Everything's being worked out behind the scenes. This other person's on the same page. Allow yourself to know that and take that divinely inspired action. So that's the actual message coming through from spirit. My human self is like, hey, ignore this mental chatter. It's doing nothing but keeping you stuck and playing small. Allow yourself to take this risk and jump for it. Allow yourself to get on that roller coaster with your roller coaster buddy over here. Jeez. Yeah. And then the last one that came through is yin yang. So this is Definitely divine counterpart. The yin yang card is my divine counterpart card. And in this energy, this is definitely coming through to let you know that this is a very, very high level soul connection. Um, and I had another slight interruption. And the thing is, every time when not every time, but a lot of the times when I tap into this energy, I will get interrupted. And there's a symbolic reason for that. And it's because there are a lot of forces on the planet that do not want these connections to come together, because a healed divine counterpart connection, the level of energy that has the capability of bringing onto the physical in the physical realm is problematic for the control matrix or the systems that are crumbling. So just know that. And that could be part of where this indecision and this deceit energy is coming from as well, is you could be getting plagued by stuff that's keeping you in your head as an attempt to keep you from anchoring this connection in. And that's just something to be mindful of. Don't be scared of it. Don't be like, oh, like, oh, there's dark forces that are coming at me. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, kind of, but it's nothing to fear. It's something that your soul knew what it was signing up for, and you're being called for this now. You're coming into the awareness of this now for a reason. The time is now. It is here for you. And I mean, you're going to up level in your community. I just heard that when I was picking up these cards. I saw this one and heard there's going to be a leveling up in your community. So there's also it's going to have a ripple effect when you go towards this connection. Allow it in, pursue it, take it as it resonates, whatever you're being called to do with it. When this anchors in, it's going to have a ripple effect on your entire physical experience in a very positive way. Things that have been a struggle and just so difficult, and that low key kind of just, I heard misery. That's a pretty intense, you know, what adjective I think it is. It's a pretty intense descriptive word. Um, but it kind of is just that low key level of blah. Um, that will shift. And just so many things in your physical reality will shift when you allow yourself to anchor this in. And it's really been coming through for the collective recently in these more recent videos. I probably for the past 6 months, but like for the past couple weeks, it's been like almost every single reading that I open up to do, it's something about divine counterparts. So there is definitely a huge push for you to accept that this is really happening, and allow yourself to push through those fears. And think about that roller coaster analogy. This is going to be your roller coaster buddy for this life. So this is going to be somebody that's sitting there with you through the ups and the downs and the corkscrews and the flips and all of that. So this is literally, yeah, yeah. It's kind of that energy of like it's your other half, but not in a way that you're incomplete. It's like this is your, how can we word this? This is your perfect companion. And it's not saying this person is perfect. It's not saying you're perfect. It's saying that you two together are perfect for each other. There's compatibility there. There's a soul compatibility. And, some of the human stuff is part of the fun part of figuring it out together and taking on challenges of life together. Um and being in sync with each other and also activating each other, because that's a huge part of this high level, this divine counterpart, is it's very, very, very activating. So it's going to activate you on so many levels, and if you're resonating with this energy, it already is activating you, because I feel like well, I mean, okay, we're going to get into semantics, but you're always in union at a certain level, like in a certain dimension, so to speak. You're always in union, the further up we go in dimensions, um, that's where like everything is one, it's source energy, and then it kind of fractals down into the physical experience. And so right now you're experiencing separation in the physical realm. But I feel like in the 5D, there has been a union of you and this person energetically. And that's why you're getting hounded with this, is because it's time, and it's scary, and there's fear around it, and it's going to change every aspect of your life. Like, there's just no way around that. But it's going to change it in ways that are just miraculous. Um and just beyond belief. So this is, yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is just another message to come through to let you know that it is time, this is real. Your signs and your synchronicities and your guidance is on point. You're dreaming of this person for a reason. You're thinking about this person constantly for a reason. You're feeling this illogical pull towards this person for a reason. Um and yeah, there's also an element I just heard, lighting your way home. So that's going to be, basically what happens is the feminine, most of the time, when we're talking about this type of a connection, what happens is the feminine oftentimes will go through the awakening sooner than the masculine. It takes longer for the feminine, and it's a different type of a process. Ultimately, the goal's the same. It's bringing you back to the awareness of the self and the soul and everything going on, and anchoring in your highest energy, basically. But the feminine will go through that sooner and be more spiritually aware than the masculine at first. And then what happens is the feminine will hold the light. And when the masculine wakes up and goes through that wake up process that can take, a while, but once that masculine wakes up, that feminine has already done a ton of the work. And so the masculine's ascension is rapid. It's way faster. I'm not going to say it's more intense, because the awakening process is intense no matter what polarity you resonate with. I mean, it's an intense life-changing process. Like, there's no going back. Um but it's one of these things that, like, the feminine will light your way home. Um so allow yourself, if you're the masculine, allow yourself to follow that light, to follow that guidance. Um it's it's hard to put into words the energy I'm feeling, but it miraculous is like the best descriptor word that I can think of right now. Um and just harmonious, and because it's activating, and that's the thing too, is it's one of these, like, yes, there's an element of just bliss, but there's also the element of just extreme activation. So it's ultimately about really coming back to the self and being being in alignment with source and things like this. And so it will activate you to continue to deepen that relationship with yourself and your soul and source and all of that. Um, oh, I thought that was the last card. We're still going. What else does the collective need to know about their divine counterpart situation? Okay. Was that in reverse? We've got Angel of Balance and Rest and Rejuvenation. So you could be being called to amp up the self-care, really do what you're being called to get centered, get grounded, be in the present moment, and that's when that guidance comes through. Um and so just make sure that you're really following that guidance and amping up the self-care right now. And then there's the angel of balance. And so this is a very balanced connection. Um, okay, interesting. I don't know if I've read this one from the guidebook. So there's a message in here. Being centered and self-honoring in your choices. So this is reminding you that a strong destiny relies on a solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Give me just a second. Okay, so again, had another little interruption. I don't know if it picked it up on the recording, but um there was a kitty that was meowing incessantly because she wanted me to open the window. So, anyways, it was very, very distracting. So that's just extra confirmation of what you might be dealing with right now. And that's something just to be aware of. If you are getting ready, so if you're the masculine and you're being called, and I feel like this is more of a divine masculine reading, just with the energy that I'm picking up on and this action card. Um, I am picking up this is more of a divine masculine reading, but and it's not like 100%. So, anyways, if you are in this energy where you're getting ready, I feel like this is a no contact situation. So if you're getting ready to break no contact and get distracted and something happens, that mm, yeah, so confirmation. What can be happening is it's that. Again, I don't wanna put fear into it, it's just to be aware of, but that is kind of a way that some of these forces that wanna keep you in separation, that's kind of a way that they'll work sometimes, is bringing in external stuff that distracts you when you're, like, on the brink of doing that. You're on the brink of reaching out, and then you get a phone call, or you know, I just got like a random thing of like a neighbor shows up or just something weird or random or there's something that needs your immediate attention. So it's just something to be aware of, but not something to fear. It's just have the awareness of it and make sure you're sitting with yourself in that guidance because sometimes we can take that from a human perspective as like, oh, that's a sign that I'm not meant to do this right now. And sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's the complete opposite and it's an attempt to keep you from connecting with this person because of the effect it's going to have on the collective in a very beneficial way when we're looking at it from the lens of like, humanity and the planet. But if you're looking at it from the lens of the system that, was in place that's beginning to crumble and like the control matrix, if you're looking at it from that lens, that's the last thing that they want to happen is more counterparts coming into union because the energy of that is just it's problematic for that. So I gotta I gotta be careful with my words here because get demonetized. But anyways, okay. So now let's go back to this. All right. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, this card is telling you a greater equilibrium is now coming to your life. Remain conscious about how you are balancing your goals and your physical and emotional energy as well. Whenever you feel yourself getting off center or losing focus, call upon this beautiful angel and bring her intention into your heart center. Your intuition will lead you in the right direction, and the angel will guide you to a peaceful and centered approach. Okay. Something else that just kind of came through when I read intuition is to just kind of touch on this a little bit. Sometimes what can happen, especially when you're really beginning to build that relationship with your intuition, a lot of people mistake fear and anxious thoughts for intuition. So, something, just a general rule of thumb, your intuition is not really going to like scream at you. It's not going to get loud and incessant and give you it's not going to give you 15,000 reasons why not to do something. It's a subtle feeling and it's that gut feeling. So if you are, if you're in a potentially dangerous situation and you get that sinking feeling in your gut, that's your intuition, but it's not telling you all the things that could go wrong. Those are the anxious thoughts. Those are the fear-based thoughts. The intuition is subtle, and it's your immediate thought. So if, for instance, if you're sitting here and you're like, is now the right time for me to reach out to this person? And you get a yes. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, what if this? What if that? Maybe not now, maybe not this, maybe da, 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 da. That's those anxious thoughts coming in. That's that fear energy coming in and really sitting in the mind. And so that's, part of what this deceptive energy is it's that mental deception of all of those racing anxious thoughts. And that's where really getting grounded and doing your best to pull into the present moment, amping up the self-care and really tapping into your core energy. That's when you're really going to get those intuitive nudges. So there's a little extra tidbit for you. Hopefully that helps. Anything else? No? Okay. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. I wish you all the best on this journey. This is profound. I mean, it really is. And you've got an amazing, I was gonna say an amazing connection, and then I heard life. So you've got an amazing connection and an amazing, miraculous life available to you. And you're just being called to take some action to claim it. That's beautiful. Alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to leave this here. If this resonates, you can let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. And if you like this message, you can hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, feel free to hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message.